Welcome back to Faith Stewardship and Insurance, Protecting Texas Churches. I'm your host, Ron Wadley, with Insurance for Texans. We help church leaders protect their people and property with clarity and confidence. Today, we're talking about exactly what a Texas church needs to do the morning after a big hailstorm. The decisions you make in those first few hours can shape the way your claim is handled and how quickly your church recovers. Bob was walking the grounds of his church in Fort Worth just after sunrise. His area of town was hit last night with a spring storm. It was forceful with lots of straight-line winds and hail. As he moved around the property, he could see shattered skylights, dented HVAC units, granules from asphalt shingles clogging the gutters, and shingles scattered across the lawn. When he looked up, he discovered that the roof had also taken a beating. As the administrative pastor, Bob understood he needed to stay calm and also take some action. The first thing Bob did was to document everything before he started making phone calls. He walked the property with his phone and took clear photos of every visible issue: exterior damage, interior water stains, ceiling tiles, carpet, walls, anything that told the story of what happened overnight. He took pictures from multiple angles and short videos where it helped show scale. He didn't climb onto the roof. He opted to save that for the professionals. His job was to create a record of what could be seen safely from the ground and inside the buildings. This documentation becomes your foundation. It speeds up the claim process, reduces disputes, and keeps you from relying on memory weeks later when adjusters start asking detailed questions. Next, Bob focused on stabilizing the situation. He contacted a trusted local roofer to tarp exposed areas and prevent more water intrusion. Volunteers helped move electronics away from wet spots and set up fans where drying could begin. Broken glass was covered to reduce safety risks. No repairs were started. Nothing was thrown away. The goal was simply to prevent additional damage. Insurance companies expect reasonable mitigation. Taking these steps protects your building and protects your claim. Waiting too long or letting damage continue can complicate things fast. The next step is to make sure that you understand your policy before you file a claim. This is where many churches get tripped up. Before Bob officially filed the hail claim, he called his church insurance specialist at Insurance for Texans. Together, they reviewed the policy in plain language. Bob learned his wind and hail deductible applied per building, not per campus. He also discovered parts of the roof were insured on an actual cash value basis instead of replacement cost. That changed expectations immediately. By reviewing his policy, Bob wouldn't be blindsided later. He could prepare his board, plan cash flow, and approach the claim with clarity instead of frustration. This is where having a Texas-based church insurance partner matters. Policies don't explain themselves, especially after a storm. Years earlier, Bob had worked with an out-of-state agency after a smaller storm. Calls went unanswered. Texas hail wasn't understood. The church felt alone in the process. This time was different. His agent understood Texas weather patterns, how local carriers were responding, and which contractors had solid reputations. That local insight saved time, stress, and money. When storms hit, you don't just need coverage, you need expert guidance. Before the spring storm season kicks up, make sure you understand your church's policy. Our church insurance team would be glad to review your current coverage. Visit insurancefortexans.com and connect with a church insurance specialist who understands Texas weather and church property coverage. And if you want deeper clarity on how to make confident insurance decisions for your church, grab a copy of our book, The Promise of Certainty, at thepromiseofcertainty.com. I'm Ron Wadley, and this has been Faith Stewardship and Insurance, Protecting Texas Churches. Until next time, remember, you can't avoid every Texas hailstorm, but you can be confident in your church's insurance coverage.